Okay, today I want to chat about something that made a huge difference in how I ran my financial planning business, and more importantly, how I preserved my energy to avoid burning out while still delivering an exceptional client experience, right? We don't want to sacrifice that. So let's talk about surge meetings versus what I called cluster meetings. Now, you've probably heard of surge meetings. This idea has been around for a while, but really popularized by my friend Matt Jarvis and has gained a lot of traction in the advisor community, rightfully so. The concept is pretty straightforward. You group a whole bunch of your client meetings into a very, very short, high intensity focus window, say 4 to 6 weeks, and you go all in. It's like sprinting through all of your client meetings with the idea that you can free up the rest of your time to do deep work, business building, or, take a vacation. He's got a whole masterclass on how he does it. So if you want to do a true surge, he's your guy. He can teach you all the ways of the surge. And if it works for you, that's amazing. Now, I also like to offer an alternative. For some advisors, that structure works beautifully. It gives them seasons of intense focus followed by seasons of rest. For me, it didn't work. And I hear from advisors all the time that love the concept of surge, but the practicality of it just didn't work for them. And if I'm being honest, that kind of high volume push, it didn't feel sustainable for me. I worked 3 days a week in my practice and I was the childcare the other two. So for my family, doing a month of full-time, 40 plus hours a week, back-to-back meetings, it just didn't work for our rhythm. And it just didn't work for the lifestyle that I had already built and was trying to wrap my business around. So I want to be very clear. If you like surge and it works for you, amazing. I'm not anti-surge at all. You know me, I just like to offer an alternative because I do truly believe that everyone is built different and their businesses are built different, and what works for you might be slightly need to be altered to work for somebody else. I don't think there's a one size fits all solution for everyone. So instead, I did something that I now call cluster meetings. Now, this is a similar concept in that we still batched similar types of meetings together, but for me, it wasn't about like intensity. It was about organization. So let me explain how it works. So I would theme my year, right? And I broke my book down into client segments. So let's say the first part of the year, I'm doing our financial planning meetings, right? For all of our A clients, let's say January, February. Because those meetings are similar in structure, my team and I could start prepping for them way in advance. We'd begin gathering documents and doing behind the scenes work as early as November. This means that by the time January rolled around, we were ready to go. I'm delivering a high quality, thoughtful meeting without all of that frantic last minute energy. That's one of the points of surge, right? Then in February, I might meet with all of my B clients. And because we've planned for that, my team had started prepping for those in December and January while I was executing our A client meetings. And then maybe our C clients were scheduled for March or April. And we were doing the prep then while I was holding my B meetings. So it became this kind of smooth rolling cycle of preparation, execution, and follow-up. It also allowed me to take a month off every summer and do a big long trip with my family. And honestly, I just didn't need more than that, or frankly, I didn't really want more than that. So we just established this annual rhythm for my business. I had high energy in January and through March when the kids were back in school. It kind of dipped in April and May. As a mom, it got a little crazy. June and July were totally bananas with the kids being off school and it being summer. Then when they went back to school in the fall, I had high energy again. So we wrapped the business to work around this natural rhythm. So when my energy was high, we did our cluster meetings. And then when things got a little crazy, we were doing more projects and prep for the next round. This worked for me in the rhythms of my life. Now you do you. But what I loved most about this approach, that it was sustainable. It worked for the rhythms and what worked for me. And I felt like it still left space for me to do meetings with prospects or hold emergency meetings for clients. It still felt organized and themed, so it was really easy for us to execute, but I didn't have to go like super hard for a month. I was able to keep the same schedule, just with a different focus. It helped me reduce decision fatigue, it streamlined our processes, the prep, the execution, and the follow-up were all the same, so it was just easy. But if you've tried surge meetings and you felt like it just didn't align with how you want to work, I want to offer you permission to do it a little differently. Trying something and it not working doesn't mean that it didn't actually work. You might just need to check in with yourself and your team and figure out what wasn't working or what felt off, and maybe some ways to fix that. So try clustering. It's still batching, it's still efficient, it's still a variation of surge, really, but in a way it was done for me that felt strategic, but also provided that calm and intentionality that I wanted. I didn't want high seasons of crazy and then low lulls, right? So if you'd like to learn more about how we did cluster meetings, I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. You can find me under Libby Greiwe, or of course you can find me hanging out in the Efficient Advisor community on Facebook. It's a group for financial advisors and operational folks within advisory practices only. So I will make sure to link that below this video on YouTube, and then also put the links for those things in the show notes. Thanks so much, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week.